It seems like this mission to England couldn't come at a worse time. There is malaria everywhere. Heber's family is sick. Brigham's family is so sick. But Heber and Brigham obey the call. They get in the wagon. They can barely make it the last 150 yards to the river. And as they're pulling out, leaving their families in the doorways, and they are so sick, their families are so sick, Heber says, "Brigham, this is pretty hard, isn't it?" And Brigham said, "It is, Heber." And Heber says, "Let's give him a cheer." And so they stop the wagon. They turn around, they take off their hats, and they say, "Hurrah! Hurrah! Hurrah for Israel!" Then they put their hats on and turn their faces to England. The work of building was going on here in Nauvoo. Yes, there were hundreds of structures going up, but the work of building the kingdom was going on in greater measure in the British Isles. Wilford Woodruff was one of those missionaries called, one of the members of the 12, and he was feeling so sick that he laid down on a pallet right in front of the post office, and he said, "I feel more like a specimen for the dissecting table." And Joseph heard him say this, and he said, "What did you say that for? Get up and go on your mission." Joseph was thinking about the kingdom, building the kingdom. Let's go on our mission and be on our way. It was imperative that he leave right then. So Wilford went on his mission. He was preaching in the Staffordshire potteries, and he'd been preaching there for some time, had great success. One night, however, the Spirit whispered to him that you must go south. And so he said to the congregation, even though he'd set up a number of appointments, "I will not be seeing you anymore for some time." And they were all very disappointed. But the next day he headed south, and he ended up at the farm of one John and Jane Benbow in Herefordshire. And there he began to preach the gospel. This group that had gathered there were 600 in number, and they had prayed night and day that the Lord would send them a messenger that might bring them the gospel of Jesus Christ. And so here came Wilford Woodruff with the keys of the priesthood and with the gospel of Jesus Christ. The second day he was there, he said in his journal, "I spent the day preparing a pond so that I might perform the ordinance of baptism." And within a short time he had baptized all but one of that 600 congregation. In fact, there is some statistic that says that there was a time when Wilford Woodruff could walk here through the streets of Nauvoo, and nearly 1 out of every 4 of her citizens was a convert of his from England.